Welcome to Apricot Cottage Studio. The new annual catalog from Stampin'Up has arrived, and I'm excited to have some of the preview items from the catalog. The first one we're going to start off with is the brand new Meadow dies. So there's a stamp set and the dies, but the dies don't coordinate with the stamp set. They don't cut out exactly the images. So you can have these totally separate. And I love these. There's 6 different flowers or leaves, and a banner for your sentiment, and 2 butterflies and some little pieces that go in the flowers. And they cut out very well. So the first thing I did when I got them is I cut a whole pile of the new in colors with the different colors. There's 2 greens in the new in colors. And so I cut one set with dark green and one set with the lighter green and cut them all out so that I was ready to use them. And then I started to design some cards. So the first one I cut out, this is a sympathy card. And what I did is I just simply cut one of the flower shapes and I've layered it on a piece of gold and another piece of black, and then the cinnamon cider paper. And I've used all the sentiments from the Many Messages set, which I've done a video on, and I pre-did a whole pile of them. Makes it very easy to put some sentiments on. This one is for sympathy. And on the little flower, I glued one of the beautiful little bees. These are little bee jewels. You get quite a few in the container. They're just gorgeous. So that makes the card a little special, even though it's a very simple design. It's just backed with a piece of gold. So the next card I did was a stencil. So I created my own stencil, just a piece of packaging. And I took the dies and I ran it through quite a few times on my die cutting machine to make the stencils. And this is the card that I created using that. So I taped that down over a piece of paper, white paper, and then I used my finger daubers with the different inks to put the colors through the stencil and make some simple flowers and a little butterfly. And again, I used the Many Messages ones that I had pre-done to make the little saying. And then I've used that little bar that comes with the die set, and it's got little loops which matches the little loops on the side. And I've threaded some of the lovely ribbon in the pale mauve through. And the way I cut the lace on both sides is I used another set of dies that have just come out. And these are the Scalloped Contour dies. And they come as a set. And there's one border and then layered pieces. So the 2 ones that I've used is this one with the stitching on the inside and the one with the lace. Now when I cut this one, my piece of paper that I had stenciled was a little bit smaller, so I just cut off the bottom and the top and just left the lace on either side, which I think is quite pretty. And again, a simple card, but it's effective. And then after that, I cut out some more flowers, and I cut them out of watercolor paper. And then I left the flowers embedded in the sheet to color them. So they look like this. And again, I just used my sponge dauber and my brushes to bring some color in while they were still in the sheet like this. And so they were easy to color. And then I popped them out and I layered them on this card. So this one has that contour in the background, and then the second contour die. And the way I created the background is with a piece of watercolor paper, and I used a sheet of packaging. And there's several ways you can do this. You can use the new markers I always purchase the markers when the first new ink colors come in because I'm never sure if I'm going to really love the colors. I do love these ones. They're very pretty pastels, and except for the dark green. They're ready to go. So the first thing you can do is, let's use a little bit of a mauve. You can just scribble it on your sheet, add a spray of water, and usually I take a paintbrush and just swirl it around and then dab it on my paper like this. So I can use my markers, I can use an ink pad. So this one happens to be balmy blue because I wanted some blues for the back. And again, spray it with water and dab it down. This is called the kissing technique. And the third way I can do it, if I want more intense color, is use my re-inkers. And I just need a little drop of ink. Spray it. This will be a lot more intense color. And then dab it down like this. Just rub the back. And that gives you sort of an organic shape. I always dry it before I add more layers, and that will give me a background that looks like this. You can see the background. I've used the blue and a little bit of the mauve to tie in with my card, and that gives a pretty sky background. Again, I've used the many messages because I had all of these already embossed, so it's easy to add on. And I've just layered it, and I've popped up some of the flowers with a little bit of small pieces of the Stampin' Dimensionals. The butterfly is on with the mini glue dots. And then I've also added one of the little jewels. These are just gorgeous. These are the new ink color jewels, and they come in all the shades to add a little sparkle to the butterfly. And then used one of the grape ribbons, which ties in with the grape color in the back, for decorating the bouquet. And then my last one is paper pieced. So you can see that this one is a lot brighter than the watercolor ones that I did, which I had just inked. This one is paper pieced. So the way I did that is I took the flowers after I cut them up, cut them all out, and I cut the one in the stem, and then I took my scissors, which have disappeared. Grab some more here. And I just snipped the pieces off that I wanted. And glued them over top of the green parts. And so they look like this. And then I've got another piece. I've got a white card base, and I've got a piece of gorgeous grape, and I've cut it with the contour drives. And a little bit of glue. This will give a focal point to my card. And then I'm going to add the greenery, because this is the darkest color and also quite large. It's very beautiful. This will be lovely to add as a backing for some flowers. And then I've got some of the skinny stems, And they are done in the light green. And if I want to make them shorter, which I do, I'm going to just trim them off. There we go. I think I'll add 2 of those. And then I've got my flowers, and I've done them with different colors. And I'm going to extend that a little past my purple background to give a little bit of interest. I don't have to glue them really securely because I want them sort of loose like flowers. And then maybe the yellow one. I think this one I'll pop up with some Stampin' Dimensionals. And just glue the base. And then my last one, well, again, I'll need to trim my little Stampin' Dimensionals or use the smaller ones. There we go. Then I'll add a purple ribbon at the bottom, and I've got my little many messages sending happy thoughts. I think I'll just put it right there. In this set there's a little wee tag, which would be a cute little addition. So I'll just add my little bow on there, and I'll have another card finish. So this set is very versatile. This is the Meadow dies. Comes with a matching stamp set, but it doesn't cut out the stamp set. So there's my many cards. One of these will be perfect for my mom's birthday. And I'll be sending a few more cards. They all look a little different, but it was really fun to do. Thank you for joining me today at Apricot Cottage Studio.